Hey, this is Michael. Welcome back to the channel. And follow up to my part one on my EG4 Hybrid Solar Mini Split Air Conditioner Heat Pump. I want to do a video showing how I installed it. And the installation went a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And so I videoed the entire install, and we can watch and see what we went through to install this wonderful air conditioner, a 2-ton air conditioner that's going to cool and heat my shop. It's a little bit over 1,000 square feet. So let's take a look at what happened. And from the get-go, you've seen me unbox it and what's in there. Let's take a look. The first step in the installation would be to mount the indoor unit. So you take the template that they give you, and you just simply put it on your wall where you're going to mount the indoor air handler. And you can staple it or tape it. I use screws to hold it up since I'm putting it on a plywood sheet in my metal building, but most people probably are putting it on a sheetrock wall. The template makes it really easy to mount the air handler level and in the right spot on the wall, and the metal bracket that you see on the bottom of the air handler unscrews, and you take this metal bracket off and you're going to mount this right on top of that cardboard template that shows you how it's supposed to be mounted there and where. Just use a level to make sure you get it level. Check the instructions. That's what it calls for, and that's what I did. So I just slid it up there, and I put a screw in to hold it, just so I could, there you go, see? Put a screw in to hold it, a couple screws. I did level the template, and I did level the bracket when I put it in. But you can notice how the bracket has some hooks on the bottom there, and when you lift the air handler up, it'll just hook onto that bracket. So then you're going to want to drill a hole through the wall, and this is the fun part. And the hole can be anywhere from like 2.5 to 3.25 inches. I used a 3-inch hole saw, and because I got to go through a metal wall, I put a little ding in the metal so I could go out there on the wall and see where it was. So once I knew where that was, I went ahead and went to where I was going to get my 240 volt power. And I had a 240 volt plug set up in my shop for a welder, so I figured I would just take the power right off the back of that junction box there. So I took the plug out because I've got a 120 volt welder. I don't really need it. And you can see here I'm trying to kind of calculate where the hole that needs to go through the wall is going to be. And I tried the same approach here. You may not have a metal building, so you might have a different approach here, but this just tended to work for me. And a little whack or two, put a little dent on the wall outside, and I could find it, and that helped me figure out where to put the hole. And so for the power, you're going to need one of these either fusible or non-fusible disconnect. And this is just so if an air conditioner guy's working on your air conditioner, he can pull this little lever out of this box, and it'll disable the power to the unit while he works on it. So it's a safety issue, but it's a great way to hook up your power as well. It makes it easy to get kind of like a junction box for the air conditioner on its own. And I ran some conduit just through the gravel there for my wiring, and for a pad I just used these big concrete blocks that I had. I leveled them up, got the condenser unit mounted. I will say, as far as the condenser goes, it's heavy. Get some help. Don't try to do it on your own like I did. I was sore the next day. Anyway, this little thing comes on the cardboard on the bottom of the condenser unit, and that little piece goes up under the condenser unit to help drain the condenser unit. Also, when you before you mount your air handler, there's a plug in there on the left side. If it's upside down like that, you need to swap that plug and this hose out for each other. So the plug goes back on the other side right there, and then the drain hose is going to go mount on the same side as the refrigerant lines coming out, and that way they can all go through the same hole. And so you can see here I'm kind of gently bending that coolant line out so that I can get the condensation drain line mounted in there. And there's a little metal thing, you can see me moving my finger there. It just kind of clicks on the the mount there. So here I am again, just being real careful, very careful with these copper lines. You don't want to break them, bend them, dent them, anything. So just gentle, gentle, gentle. And that's what I'm doing here. And so I got that straightened out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the air handler unit, and inside there is where you're going to mount the wiring connection that goes between the indoor air handler unit and the outdoor condenser unit. So you can see here I've pulled the wiring that comes with it through the bottom of that air handler, and I'm checking there on the instructions how that goes. Now interestingly, for these 4 wires, they're numbered, and they've got little sleeves on them with numbers, and inside the air handler and inside the condenser unit where you're going to mount these wires is also numbered, so 1, 2, 3 and ground. So it's pretty simple. You just need to pay attention to the wiring that goes between the 2 units. And right here there's a strain relief, a little plastic strain relief that I unscrewed. Now I'm putting the strain relief back on the wiring here so that the wiring can't be pulled out of the connections there, and tightening that back down. And all this can be done pretty much with a screwdriver. So I'm going to loosen up the number 1, number 2, and number 3 wire screws, and there's a terminal on the end of each of these wire ends that mounts. Again, there's like a little sleeve with the number on it, 1, 2, and 3. You just mount those on 1, 2, and 3. I will say that the wiring that goes to the outdoor unit has the plastic shielding over the terminals. So once you get that done, put everything back together. You've got your refrigerant lines, your drain hose, your wiring, everything is going to go out through that 3-inch hole that I drilled in the wall. So I'm just trying to kind of tighten everything together so it goes through easily. Unfortunately, I did not get the picture of me pushing all this through the hole, but the problem was it took me a while to get through the other side of the wall. The steel, the outdoor steel was really hard to get through since I didn't have a steel drill bit. So I ended up having to basically, micro drill little holes all around it in order to get the hole cut. So again, most people won't have this problem unless you're going through a metal building. If you are, I recommend getting a metal hole saw. That would help you a lot. Otherwise, just a regular hole saw will go through most sheetrock, plywood, wood, any kind of wood products in your building. Finally, I had to bring out the big gun here, and wasn't pretty, but we got the hole punched in the wall. So this wraps up pretty much the part 2 of the video, showing the first steps of installation for the air handler and the condenser unit. And stick around, and I'll have part 3 where we'll finish the installation and get the air conditioner working.